So now let's take a closer look at MapReduce. So MapReduce is a programmable framework that's designed to tackle embarrassingly parallel tasks. So when trying to understand how it does things in parallel, we're going to take a look at how our map tasks are actually launched. So the number of map tasks that are launched is dependent upon not only the number of files, but also the number of blocks within them. So keep in mind that the default block size for Hadoop version 1.2.1 is 64 megabytes. Now, when these map tasks are launched, they're done so independently of one another, and that's how we're able to run things in parallel. So now let's take a closer look at both the map and reduce operations. So your map operation, its main purpose is to generate key value pairs. Now, when discussing this in terms of our word count program, we can see over here that the key is a word and the value is the number 1. So your reduce operation, its main purpose is to aggregate the results of the map operation. So we can see we do that locally first, and then we do things globally. So globally, think in terms of your cluster. So once it aggregates those results, it then writes them to a file, as we saw was called part. So now let's take a look at our Hadoop cluster and discuss how we essentially do things on the cluster. So your Hadoop cluster is designed for write once and read many times. So essentially what that means is we throw data into HDFS, and then we have the client over here submit any number of jobs. Now when the client submits a job, they're going to do so to the manager of MapReduce, which is known as the job tracker. The job tracker is then going to delegate tasks to the task trackers, which reside on the slave nodes. Now keep in mind that every single slave node within the cluster will consist of these two daemons. So now with regards to map and reduce operations, your map operation is performed on the slave node where the data actually resides. So it generates key value pairs and then stores the results in HDFS. Then we have our reduce operation. So again, your reduce operation is going to aggregate the results of the map operation. It's going to do so locally first and then globally.